Hello my dudes, and welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. If you're new here, I'm Evan and I knit things. And if you're a regular, welcome back. I'm so glad you're all here. Today I have for you podcast episode number 26. Now, if you've been around a while, you know that we haven't had a podcast in so long. The last one went live on October 5th. So it's been almost a month since we've had a regular podcast episode. So I have so much to talk to you guys about. So grab a coffee, grab your whip, and buckle up. We got a lot to get through. Quick aside, so we're going to be covering all of my knitting from October 5th until today, which for me is November 1st. So that's a lot of stuff. Any finished objects or acquisitions that I already talked about in my Ireland recap videos, I'm not going to go over again. So if you want to see all the things that I finished, for Ireland and in Ireland, you can check out my recap videos. I'll link them here on the screen now, and I will also link them in the description box below, and all the cool stuff that I picked up while I was there. There's a lot of it, a lot of acquisitions that you can check out over there. Today, I have for you 3 finished objects that you haven't seen yet. 1 acquisition. We're going to talk about all of my current whips, just because it's been so long. We're just going to go through all my whips and talk about them, and we're going to not even acknowledge new cast-ons. We're just going to say everything's a whip, because I don't know what got seen when, or yeah, it's been too long. So we're going to talk about all the whips, and we're going to go from there. So, that being said, let's jump right in to finished objects. So, we're just going to go in chronological order here from when I finished things. So, the first one, gotta get my journal. First one is the November Mitts by Jen Yard. I made these for Ireland. I cast them on October 4th, and I bound them off on October 4th. So they were a real quick knit. These are knit up in, let's see, focus there. You see the colors. They're knit up in a Gamer Crafting Halloween color that I think I got is a D-stash or something like that. I don't remember, but they didn't have ball bands. It's sock yarn. And I'm holding that double with Red Door Fiber Studio Alpaca Sock in the colorway Lavender Latte OOAK, which is left over from my Padstow cardigan. So I cast these on so I would have something like this for Ireland, and I wore them several times in Ireland. I didn't block them before we left, so I blocked them when we got home, but they work great. They're exactly what I wanted, and yeah, nothing too crazy there. They look really cute. It was a really quick knit. I would definitely knit these again. If I do knit them again, I will knit this bit longer, I think. Okay, that's the first finished object. Second finished object, I don't have in my possession at the moment because I'm mad at it and it's in a drawer. So I'll have a picture on the screen the whole time I'm talking about it. This one is the Teddy Half Zip, which was a test knit for Kristen Zimmel. The test ends in just a couple days here, and then will be coming out, I believe, next week, the pattern. So I'll go more into depth about it when the pattern comes out, I'll give you a rundown of the whole thing. But basically, I came home from Ireland and I finished it so I could just get it off my plate and be done. I didn't end up hating the ease on the body so much, but there was just too much ease in the sleeves for me. I just want to knit a smaller size, but I'm mad that I had to knit the whole thing for the test knit, and I don't like the sizing on me. This isn't a pattern issue. This is a me picking the wrong size issue, but there was nothing to be done about it because it was a test knit. So when I get the mental fortitude, I will rip most of that back out and knit a smaller size. I would like to see if I could just rip back to the yoke to, like I knit the size large, and I think I'd rather knit the size small. I believe there's an extra small, small, medium, large. So I think I'd prefer to knit the size small for ease. So I'd like to rip back to the yoke area and see if I can, and see if further back in the yoke matches the stitch counts for the size small at some point. And if it does, I'll rip back to there instead of ripping all the way back to the collar, because that's a pain. Anyway, I did end up finishing that on October 20th. The yarn I used is the Hobie Amigo in dark blue melange and the Hobie Curly in gray. So stay tuned for all the details about that probably next week when that pattern comes out. Final finished object. Finally, these are the August Cuff Club, Colorwork Cuff Club socks by Summerlee. So Summer put out this year, starting in August, a collection of, like, it's a regular sock pattern, like plain, simple, vanilla socks, and then she was adding a colorwork chart for the cuff every month. So you can sign up for that if you want to. It's a pattern on Ravelry. It's like $12 for the whole year, and you're basically getting 12 plus sock patterns for the year. These were August ones, the ones that she like set out first. I cast these on August 29th, and they just kind of sat there forever. But I wanted to finish them before November, but I actually finished them this morning, but it was good enough. So yarn, this main color, the dark blue, is Explorer Knits and Fibers Denali Sock, and I think it's Court of Dreams. And then this was a mini. The light blue is a mini that I had in my collection. I have no idea what it is. So there's a close-up of the little flower pattern. It's really cute. I would love to cast on both of the October ones now that I'm a month behind. The November one just came out this morning as well. I haven't looked at it yet though, but that's just not in the cards for me right now. But these are really cute. I like them a lot. They still need blocked because I literally just finished them like 2 hours ago. But yeah, finally finished. Woo! So that's all the finished objects. Then we can get into the 900,000 whips. Okay, so the only one that I didn't bring upstairs with me is the giant pink blanket. So let's talk about that first. The giant pink blanket is a ridiculously heavily modified version of the Purl Soho no purl ribbed blanket. I think I said that correctly. The only part of that pattern that I'm actually following is the stitch pattern. I'm using different gauge, different yarn size, different stitch counts, different needles, literally just the stitch count, or just the stitch pattern. So if you want to say that I'm following that pattern, you can, and if not, then don't, and that's fine. So I didn't bring that upstairs because number one, it's enormous, and number two, I haven't worked on it at all since whenever you saw it last. I still have like one more skein of pink yarn attached to it that needs to be finished before I can start the next color, and yeah, I've made no progress on it whatsoever. So let's just move on to the next thing. The next thing is, see, this is going to get annoying flipping back and forth in my journal here from the October page with my whips on it back to the journal pages for my individual projects. I should have planned this out better. But I didn't, so it is what it is. Okay, this is the Polygon Blanket by Tin Can Knits. I started this blanket on April 8th. I'm using assorted DK weight scraps and size US 6 needles, which I believe is a 4mm, but I never remember that correctly. I think it's a 4mm. Anyway, last time we talked, I had 9 hexagons and 1 half hexagon. So let's just do a count. 1, 2, there's the half. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, I knit a couple of these this week, the purple ones. I only had one purple one before, and now I have 4. So, and I did use up all of that yarn. And there's my little half. So, we've got 11 now, and 1 half, which means I gotta pick a new yarn out of here to do the next ones in. Alright, so that'll be the next color for hexagons. This one is part of the Mirkwood Fade from Pixie Yarns. And it's DK, like I said. So, we'll do that next. We'll see if I get any of those knit this week. Whip number 2, check. Whip number 3, which I don't have, but I want to talk to you about, is my Skyline sweater by Tori Yu. Let me open up to that page. I cast this on January 30th, and I only had 1.5 sleeves left. I tried it on before we left for Ireland, and it was just bigger than I wanted it to be. It was, given that I cast this on in January, I've lost a lot of weight since then, so it just wasn't the size that I wanted it to be, and I really loved this yarn, and I really loved this pattern, so I really wanted to be happy with it. So I ripped out the whole thing. I was knitting it in Ruby and Rose's Holding Yarn Double, her Rose Cloud and Fragrant Rose bases. The Rose Cloud is a Surrey alpaca, and the Fragrant Rose is a merino cashmere nylon. And the colorways I was using are Bungalow and Lucky Penny. So at some point, I will cast this back on in a smaller size. I believe it's on my Make 9. Where is that in my journal? Yes, it is on my Make 9. Whether or not that'll get done by the end of the year, I doubt it'll even get cast back on by the end of the year. But you know what? It's fine. I'm okay with it. The Make 9 is fun. It does not ruin my life. So, there's whip 3. Whip 4. I actually have something to show you. This is the Book Club cardigan by Sari Nordland. I am knitting this up in La Bien-Aimée Corriedale Confetti in the colorway Graybow 1. Actually, I don't even have any progress on this, but it's fine. We'll give you a... Oh, I did have progress. Never mind. We'll show you what we're getting up to here. Okay, so last time you saw this, I had the body. I had blocked the body to make sure it fit, and it does fit, and it's nice. Then I picked up the sleeve, and I knit this much of the sleeve, and the sleeve's too tight, and I need to rip back and pick up more stitches on the sleeve. I mean, it might block out fine, but it's stressing me out. So I will just rip back and just pick up like 4 or 5 more stitches, so I know I'll just have that little bit of wiggle room and it'll be fine. But I haven't knit on this since I've come home from Ireland. Okay, and here's some movie magic for you. Sleeve? No sleeve. Magic. Okay, so let's put a marker on here somewhere. Apparently my marker stash is gone up here. So, oh, there is a marker right there on the body. So I will take this off the body and put it on the sleeve for now, because I'm going to do the sleeves next. So that'll be our little progress point. No sleeve. And then I don't know that I'll work on this week, but we'll see. There are just other things that are itching my brain in the best way more than that right now. So, moving on. I don't know what whip number we're on anymore, and I don't care. Okay, next is the dress test. Okay, so this is the dress, which is a test knit for Holly Knits. It is due on January 3rd, I think. I didn't write that down. But anyway, I took this to Ireland to work on, and I did work on it a decent amount until it just got too big. So, here we go. That's where we were when I showed you on the podcast last, and I knit all of this all the way down to here. Oh, I dropped my journal. So, I did knit a lot. Especially after the hip increases. Oh my gourd. Like, all the hip increases here, like, it gets substantially larger after the hip increases. So, we're into the brown color now. And I've done a lot, but there's still a lot to do. I am using various fingering weight colors from my collection. If I can find the swatch, I'll show it to you. This bag is massive, which is great because the project is massive, but can also be problematic. Nope, that's just another part of the dress. Well, you know, I've showed you before, so it's fine. That's the final color that we'll do next. So, that's the dress test. Again, I don't know that I'll work on this week, but now you've seen it. Okay, next down the list here is my Ireland scarf. Okay, so all the bits and bobs that I picked up in Ireland, in like leftovers from classes, things like that, I decided I wanted to make into something together. And I wanted it to be Tunisian crochet since I just learned that skill, and that's cool. So I started this. You know what? If I drop this stupid journal one more time, I'm gonna freak out. Okay, I'm just trying to hold too many things in my lap at once. So, the name of this pattern is the Bahama Wrap, and it's by TL Yarn Crafts. I'm not following the gauge or yarn size. Like, I think it calls for a worsted or Aran weight and an 8mm hook. I'm using like sportish DK-ish weight and a 5mm hook. And it's like this cool chevron stitch pattern that I didn't know before, but I know now. Check it out. It's really fun. I have to like really focus on it, but I really like it a lot. So obviously I haven't worked on like a super ton of it, but it's pretty great. So let me put a marker on there for you. And the rest we may have to get creative because I don't have any more markers over here. So that's that. I had a stopper on this hook and I don't know where it went. But I need to find it. That's the one thing about crochet that like makes me really paranoid. It's like everything's gonna fall off. The like one stitch is gonna fall off my hook and everything's gonna unravel and I'm gonna freak out. But anyway, that's that. It doesn't really fit in this bag very well because the hook's all long, but it's fine. Okay, next, this is the Double Date sweater by Winter's Weather Knits. And this is a sample I am knitting for Lila over at Terrapin Fiberworks. So I don't remember where this was last time you saw it, but I apparently didn't put a marker on anywhere. But I have now finished the body and about half the sleeve. This is being knit up in her Chesapeake DK base, which is 100% organic cotton, 246 yards per 100 grams. And this is the main color. This cream with speckles is called Moonflower. The green here is Verdant. This bright purple is Superfood, and this like periwinkle-ish is unreleased and doesn't have a name yet, but I was told I was allowed to show it to you. So, I really like this a lot. It's a lot of fun to knit. I was like concerned I'd hate it because it's a bottom up, but I really like it. Like, I like it enough that I want to knit myself one too. So I think with my payment for this, I'm going to buy this exact yarn in different colors to make this exact pattern. And if that's not a testament to liking a pattern, nothing is. Yeah. I will attempt to remember when I go back downstairs to put a marker where I was on here, because the rest of my stitch markers are downstairs. So I will attempt to remember to do that for you. This is due by the end of December, but I am hoping to finish it in the next week or so. Oh look, there's the swatch. There's the swatch for my dress. See, we're in about this section on the dress right now. Isn't that funny? I dropped my journal again. Okay, I have 2 more whips to tell you about. And you've never seen either of them. Isn't that exciting? So, let's talk about my purse project next. So this is my current purse project. I'm calling it the November Scarf. Guess why? Can you guess? I'm not following a pattern for this. Ta-da! I just wanted another accessory that matched the mitts that I made for Ireland, and I tried to make this into a hat several times, and the pooling was like just crazy, and I didn't like it. So I decided to do a scarf instead. And my November mitts are just a 3x1 purl, or 3x1 rib, so I decided I'd just do that in a scarf. So that's what I'm doing. Again, this is Gamer Crafting and Red Door Fiber Studio Alpaca Sock. So that's that. No pattern. I just cast on like what I thought was going to be an appropriate amount of stitches that I could do a 3x1 rib in. And it requires absolutely no thought or effort, and I will just go until I run out of yarn. Until I run out of the alpaca. I have a whole nother skein of the Gamer Crafting. Okay. Final whip. Now, I just cast this on October 23rd. It's in my gorgeous new Delique bag. Here, I'll show you the swatch first. Ooh, look at it. It's so good. Look at those colors. Okay, so if you can't guess by the swatch, wow, color just went crazy weird there for a second. This is the Doppio by Sung-Hee Hong. I am using a little bit different yarn than is called for in the pattern. So the pattern calls for 2 strands of fingering weight and 1 strand of lace weight. Well, I am actually using 3 strands of lace weight and 1 strand of fingering weight at a time. So this is 2 strands of lace weight held together that I harvested from another sweater, if you can see that. See, there's a white strand and an orange strand. Well, it's not really white, but there we go. That I harvested from another sweater that I knit a couple years ago that just never fit right, and due to the composition of this yarn, these 2 yarns held together, It pilled so bad, it felted under the armpits. It needed to be held with something sturdier. So that's what I'm doing. But these together, the orange is Knit Picks Shadow Lace in the colorway Flicker. And it's a cashmere something blend. And then the lighter one is Hedgehog Fibers Cashmere Merino, which is mostly cashmere with a little merino, and I think the Knit Picks is the same base, basically. And the colorway for that one is Dijon, I think. Yeah. So I'm holding this as like a strand of fingering weight, because like if you look at it, it looks like a strand of fingering weight. Like, so I'm holding that as one strand of fingering weight. And then the floofy lace, I am using this Surrey alpaca from the Etsy store called Inspire a Mind. And this is really cheap alpaca. It comes in 25-gram little cakes. They come pre-caked, which is so nice. I don't remember what this color was called, but I am obsessed with it. And then I am alternating these two fingering weight skeins. So one round I use this, the next round I use this. They're very similar, but they're not the same. So I do have the ball bands here. And let's see if I am capable of remembering which one's which. Okay. This one is Plankin Stella Akame sock in the colorway Burnt Honey. Accurate. And this one is Woolen Boon Classic 4-ply fingering sock in the colorway Dirty Chai. So those every other round, plus the several other colors, is making this gorgeous, like, pumpkin spice deliciousness that is so squashy and so fantastic. I love it. So I have just split for sleeves and knit one round, and that's where I am for now. Love it. Obsessed. Again, I will attempt to remember to put a stitch marker on here when I go downstairs so that you can see progress next time. I will attempt to remember that. Absolutely no guarantees. I've been struggling with yarn management for this, so I switched it to this Delique bag, and I'm hoping that I can work something up with the snaps. We'll see. Okay, so the next part of the podcast is, what am I wearing? Today, I am wearing my California sweater by Leslie of Knit California. I love this sweater. I wear it constantly. It's so comfy cozy. My house is freezing today. This is perfect. I am also wearing this because I want to cast on another one for the California sweater knit along, which is happening right now. So if you want to knit one, you should cast one on, and we can do it together for the knit along. Remember to post on Instagram and use the hashtag California Sweater KAL to be entered for prizes. Very excited about that. I have yarn picked out. I I only have one pair of size 10 needles, apparently, and they're in the Doppio, so I ordered another pair, which will probably be here tomorrow, so then I can cast that on, which is awesome. So, yarn in the California sweater, I used Red Door Fiber Studio Surrey Alpaca in the colorway Gift of Gab, and I alternated skeins of Knit Picks Hawthorne in the colorways Arletta and Sylvania as the fingering weight. If you're interested in checking those out, I am a Knit Picks affiliate. There's a link down below. Thanks so much if you use it. Let's talk goals. Now, it's been a long time since I've set myself any goals, so I am somewhat wary of doing so. However, I need to because I do have things with deadlines, and November starts to be a really busy month. So I would like to, if possible, finish my double date sample. Second, I would like to cast on my California sweater. Third, I would like to cast on a Gnome. Imagine Landscapes on Instagram always does a mystery gnome knit along in December, which I usually participate in. My kids and I do it together. I do the knitting, and then there's stories and recipes and other things that go along with it, and they love it, and it's Christmassy, and they love that. So I usually do that in December, but I only have a few gnomes right now, and I would like to grow my gnomes, so I want to knit one in November before the December gets going. So we picked a pattern and some colors, and I would like to cast that on as well. Then I want to work on my cross stitch. I haven't touched Venusaur, my cross stitch, in forever. I don't remember when I last worked on it. I would like to work on that some. And I want to knit at least one hexie for my Polygon Blanket. And I think that's enough goals for getting back into goals. That feels like a lot. I don't really think it is, but it feels like a lot. So we'll just have to go from there. Acquisitions. I just have one, but it's a very exciting one. Oh geez, that almost went horribly wrong. I know you're like, oh, it's a box. Yeah, it is. Oh gosh, can you see what that says? No, not really. Okay, well this is my advent calendar from the Discrete Unicorn. It's got all the little minis wrapped up in there, ready to unwrap in December. And this cute bag that goes with it, little tote bag. Obviously, I don't have, like, this is going to be sitting around for a month, but I'm so glad it arrived since it did ship from the UK. It is here, and I'm excited, and it's going to be so wonderful. So, yay, Discrete Unicorn Advent Calendar. Okay, finally, books. Now, I really didn't read very much on our trip, so I really don't think I have that many books to talk to you guys about. Books I've finished since we last talked. I read The Summer Skies by Jenny Colgan, which I gave 4 stars. I read Witch of Wild Things by Raquel Vasquez Gilliland. 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 I don't know. That's hard. Which I also gave 4 stars. I read Stockings and Spells by Nancy Warren, which was Vampire Knitting Club number 4, which I gave 3 stars. It was kind of boring. I read Close Knit by Jenny Colgan, which is the kind of but not really sequel to Summer Skies. That one I gave 4 stars. Okay, now these last 3 books that I just finished, so good. I read The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. 5 stars. Obsessed. Loved it. It was fantastic. Not for the faint of heart. If you do not want to be trapped in the mind of a serial killer for a little bit, don't read it. I loved it. That was not a main part of the book. It was maybe like a 10-minute chapter, but it was very graphic. But it wasn't supposed to be like a horror book. I was confused. I wasn't expecting it, but I really liked the book. The genres it's listed under on Goodreads are fantasy, fiction, magical realism, time travel, books about books, romance, magic, mystery, and adult. I am very unhappy that Gareth Brown doesn't have any other books. That was his first book. It was incredible. I want more, and now I'm sad that I have to wait for his next book, which supposedly is coming out July 31st, 2025. It's called The Society of Unknowable Objects, which sounds incredible. I'm hoping it's a book 2 about the Book of Doors. But anyway, next book. One Dark Window by Raquel Gillig, which was Shepherd King number 1. Loved it. Been waiting for it for like 6 months on my library. Worth every minute of wait. 5 stars. Loved it. Waiting for book 2 from the library. Okay. And my favorite book that I've read in quite a while now, probably since Words of Radiance, Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I finished this 2 days ago, and I literally have not stopped thinking about it since. 5 stars, absolutely no notes, impeccable, amazing, I loved it. Spooky Halloween, haunted house, Alice in Wonderland, amazing. It was so great. So now I need to read Alex E. Harrow's entire backlist. I had already read by her The 10,000 Doors of January, and I really liked that one. So now I'm waiting from the library for Once and Future Witches and The Spindle Splintered. Can't wait to read those. Okay, currently reading. I'm reading A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. I guess technically I'm still reading Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, though my loan lapsed at the library, so I have to borrow it again. And the husband and I are still, we have a little over an hour left in each book doing the Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn tandem read. We didn't listen to any of it on our trip, and we listened for like 30 minutes since we've been back. Like, things have just been crazy, life has been insane, and we just have not had time. So, that's all the books. That's all the whips. That's all the goals. That's all the acquisitions. That's all the everything. That was so many things. So, if you stuck through all of that, you're the real hero here. Thank you. So, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, We are on a journey to 500 subscribers. I believe we're at 155 or 156 this morning. So we've gained a lot of new subscribers recently. Welcome, thank you. Subscribe if you're watching this and you haven't yet subscribed. You're going to want to click that little notification icon to be notified of my next upload. I am still posting shorts about our Ireland trip for day to day, and you should go follow me over on Instagram if you want more content from me and just general, hey, this is what I'm up to today type stuff. So thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Bye!